Good morning, good morning. I can't remember what I shared with you guys last time. Did I share with you guys my plants? Let me show you guys quickly. So over here are just some of my sweet plants that are in my winter garden. We do not have an Oli sleeping here this time. You can see it's really nice and wintry. My birds are gone. I'm not happy about that. But we have lots of beautiful snow. And here I have some more plants up on our piano. So pretty. I love succulents, as you can see, just lots of pretty green plants. A wax and wool candle. We sell those in the shop. We just got in their 4 new winter scents. And this right here is a really special piece of music. There isn't music there, but it's a special piece of music that belonged to my grandma Ruby Erickson, who our daughter Ruby is named after. And my grandma Sue gave that to me. So we keep it on our wall right above our piano because Grandma Ruby liked to play the piano. Those are just some of the plants that we have in our home. We hope that you guys enjoyed looking at the ones that are in our winter garden. There's this pretty little cactus here too, which my mom thought this was just a fun little pink thing glued on top of the cactus. It's not. It's a part of the cactus. I'm wearing my colorways shawl. How could I forget that? It's a knit that I really enjoyed making by Tammy Gore. She is constantly coming out with really fun scrappy projects. They're not really scrappy, but I think they're perfect for using scraps or mini sets and things like that. I've had so much fun in the dye studio, but dyeing up new yarns, new colorways. You can go ahead and check those out at ahomespunhusband.com. And mini sets. It's warm in here again. I think this is how we started off the last episode. I needed to open up the window. I have to go and do that. I think because it's so sunny, this room, it's either, now that it's winter, it's usually cold or hot. I think I probably just opened it up way too far that I probably will get quite cool soon. But I have a warm sweater on. It's not hand knit. And then I have, of course, my hand knit colorways shawl on, which is mohair, silk, merino, all of the good stuff. So super fun. I have, like I said, been doing a lot of dyeing in the studio this week, which has been fun. I've decided that I'm really going to play around with color in the beginning of the year. Like I mentioned, there will be most all of the older Homespun House colorways will not be re-offered again in the shop unless you want to do a special order for those colorways. And now I am just having fun dyeing large quantities of new colorways. So quite a bit of those new colorways that you guys are seeing on my Instagram and popping up in the shop. Tea Leaves, Meadow, Placebo, Hard Feelings, a lot of those are not going to come back. It's just, I dyed them. I maybe didn't even write them down. I dyed a lot of them on a lot of different bases and I had a lot of fun, but I'm in the mood where I want to play with color and I want to be creative and I don't want to have any rules about what I'm doing, and that's kind of where I am right now. So I'm doing really special colorways that are feeding my soul, and if I want to bring them back, I will, but that's not the plan right now. I'm probably going to have a lot of really fun mini sets to the shop, which I already have quite a bit, but I have a lot of plans to bring a lot of new mini sets to the shops and one-of-a-kind mini sets to the shops. Shop, singular, not plural. I'm one shop, a Homespun House. Although we do have a marketplace with a lot of great female makers in our marketplace. I've been working on a pattern. I currently have a pattern for sale called the Dale Socks. I spoke about it quite a bit last episode. and it just has a heart chart in the sock. And I should have brought the sock that I knit that went with the pattern in here with me, but I didn't, I'm sorry. And I have decided that I'm going to be revamping this pattern, if you will. So I'm going to be adding this really, really sweet pine tree motif. This is knit on our Scandinavia colorway. I'm sorry if it's getting blown out. The sun just happens to be shining directly here. So I hope that this turns out well. I really wanted to film and get something up for fun. I enjoy doing this, so I wanted to get something up, and now is the time that it worked for me. And yeah, the sun's just coming in right here, and like I said, I hope that's okay. I can't see what you guys are seeing. So I have these pine trees, then I have beautiful snowflakes coming down, another set of pine trees, and then I added the pine tree, I guess I'll turn it around, to the toe. I wanted to put it somewhere along the foot, and I was out having dinner with my friend Anna, and she said you should put it right before the toe decreases, and I really love that idea. I think it's a really pretty place to put it. So that is just what I did. So this is Scandinavia and Fresh Sheets. Love this colorway, and a lot of you have been really kind and commenting that you've really enjoyed it too. I just think it's such a pretty Scandinavian color for color work. I know my grandma would call it Norwegian blue. She always knit lots of Norwegian style sweaters and socks and things like that, and she really loved this pretty sky blue. This has a little bit of a lilac tone to it, which I really love. But this is the Homespun House Scandinavia colorway with Fresh Sheets with the tree motif. I will be knitting another pair of socks with a heart motif. Like I said, the pattern just has a heart motif around the top, and then it has the falling snow down the leg, and I think it might even have it down the foot. But I will be adding the tree motif, and then just directions for placement on where the motif goes. So I have plans to knit a heart pair of socks, and I haven't decided who I'm going to make those for. I think I'll probably make them for my eldest daughter. And I went down in the studio after I finished these, which was actually this morning, and I looked for the perfect pinky peachy colorway. I didn't find it. I did not find what I was looking for. I had a perfect idea of how I wanted it to look in my head, and so when I didn't find it, I dyed it, and I think it's going to turn out really, really fun. I probably coated it in five different colors, and I haven't decided if I'm going to offer it as a tonal or if I'm just going to offer it in a really fun kit for making these socks. And it's almost Valentine's Day. It's almost February. I know a lot of people like to knit on pretty heart themed things, and I think that the Dale socks will be a really, really fun one to be knitting on around that time. And I even thought to just knit a pair of leg warmers for the girls with that motif on it, because that's actually something that they really would wear. They haven't been too interested in their hand knit socks that I've been making and gifting them. In fact, I've probably only seen them wearing their hand knit socks 3 times this year. Elodie's going skiing this Friday, and she will definitely wear her hand knit socks then, but it's not something that she grabs for and really wants to wear. And Ruby also, she is never grabbing her hand knit socks. Maybe it's just because they're not really put away in an organized, pretty way. All of her socks are thrown into a little wicker basket. Yeah, so maybe I have to think about that, a way that maybe she'll grab for them more. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll do socks or leg warmers. We shall see. And I'll use fresh sheets as well for the hearts. I just think it's really crisp looking and pretty. So I still have to block these and weave in the ends, and I can't wait to share this updated pattern with you. You can still buy the pattern with the heart motif on it. It will look as it does in the photograph. And then once I finish all of this, you would get an update later on. So I didn't even show these to you all last time. I finished the Cozy Knitter Advent socks. This is something that I bought from Christina, who is the dyer behind the Cozy Knitter. And I don't know how many years she's done it, 2, 3 plus. It's 24 stripes. And this was my first time trying a true afterthought heel. I haven't tried it yet, but I have plans to try it this week. And I used Lincoln for the cuff and the toe. And I just have to add in the heels. I wanted to be sure to get exactly all 24 stripes. I just think they're so fun and so pretty. I really, really enjoyed knitting these. They knit up really quickly. I don't often knit stripy socks, but I have a bit of stripy sock yarn in my stash. So I would really, really like to maybe knit with it. It was really fun. Yeah, there's just something about stripy socks that go by really quickly. It's not my favorite sock to wear, in all honesty. I really tend to grab towards my speckled or even tonal socks. I think these will be a pair that I wear a lot. I love that the tree motif is right above the heel, because I often wear pants that go just a little bit higher. You can see my socks. I like to wear colored socks, especially with a fun pair of shoes where you can just see a fun pop of color, cute little socks. So I think these will be super, super fun to wear. I can't wait. And I think the pinky peach color that I dyed, which makes me think I probably should knit those socks for myself, because I think they would be really, really fun to wear with my jeans. So anyway, I have some stripy yarn from Nicole C. Mendez. She is a German dyer. For those of you living in Europe looking for a great dyer of striped sock yarn, Nicole does an amazing job. Her bases are wonderful. I think she usually has 2 or 3 bases to choose from, and she just has really fun colors. She has a good selection. She brings out new ones at different times of year. And when I was living in Germany, I think I knit maybe two pair of socks out of her yarn, and I bought some yarn. She gifted me some yarn. She's just a really great person and a really fun yarn dyer. If you like stripy socks and are looking for somebody in Europe, this is not her yarn, remember though. This is the Cozy Knitter. I might be getting a little bit confusing. I'm also knitting on another pair of socks, and this is out of the Hüge colorway, Gemütlichkeit. Is that what I called this, Hüge Gemütlich? I'm not sure. I'm sure I said this in the last episode that I wasn't sure either. I'm still not sure. It's a one-of-a-kind colorway, and I didn't keep the ball band, so I don't remember, unfortunately, but this color is so pretty. And ooh, I'm starting to smell my Tree Farm candle by Wax and Wool, and it smells so good. So, so, so good. We have a couple of these in the shop right now. 6, maybe. I love it. It will not be coming back at all. So for a homespun house, it will not be coming back this year. Anyway, I knit the heel. I did do a Fish Lips Kiss heel on this sock. Robert likes that heel just fine. I might try a gusset at some point, but it seems like it works. And these socks are so fun. I really enjoyed dyeing this yarn. So this is Hüge. Gemütlich, I think. And I'm knitting these out of Knitter's Pride or Knit Pro, depending upon where you're from, 2mm needles. I want to mention, I didn't even talk about my knitting on 9-inch circulars. How crazy is it that I finished these in 1 week? As a side note, I'm pretty surprised now that I think about it. It has been 1 week. I knit these out of Haya Sharp 9-inch circulars. Yes, they are this teeny, tiny. So I knit these on 2.5 millimeter needles. I don't know the last time I knit on 2.5 millimeter needles. That is a lie. I'm lying to you guys again. I'm knitting these out of 2.5 millimeter needles. What's going on here? 2.5 millimeter needles. I'm knitting this sock out of 2.5 millimeter needles. The reason why is because I am knitting color work and I like to go up in my needle size when I'm knitting in color work. And I knit the entire thing on the 2.5 millimeter needle, and my tension, everything gauge, it remained the same, whether it was color work or no color work. So I'm pretty proud and happy of that. Okay, review of the 9-inch circular needles. So this is a 2.5 millimeter, 1.5 US, I believe. These weren't really hard at all, which is so funny and interesting, and I don't even know why. I need to drink some coffee before it gets cold. I don't even know why these weren't difficult, because as I mentioned in the last episode, when I knit on these, when we were living in Germany, I was using the Haya Sharp. I didn't like them at all. They hurt my hands so much. Yeah, they just hurt my hands a lot. My hands were cramped all the time. And I'm not saying that my hands weren't cramped this time. They were cramped a little bit. But I think when I got mine in Germany, I remember I tried to start knitting them just with the 9-inch circulars. I cast on my stitches and then I tried to do the ribbing. No, I didn't even do that this time. I got my ribbing ready, knit one, purl one, and I knit as long as I wanted to. And then I knit one round stockinette, and then I started to use these. So I had already had a bit of knitting to hold on to. I have probably 2.5 inches here of cuff to hold on to, because I grip my needles quite a bit. It's a different feeling when you're using the 9-inch circulars, because usually when I'm knitting my socks, I'm looking at the inside of my sock. So I'm looking at my sock like this. And then when you're knitting the 9-inch circulars, your sock's kind of in front of you and your knitting is behind. So it's a really different feel. But I think a really, really big thing that helped me was having my entire cuff done. And I did that on both of the socks. I didn't even test it out or try out how it would be to knit and purl the cuff at all. So I enjoyed it. I think for color work, I would always do it this way, which is really giving me, I'm asking myself the question of how am I going to knit this pair of socks for 80 or Ruby, because the stitch count is a lot less than what I'm using for myself. And I don't think that the circumference will at all be this large. It will really, really be stretching, and I'll just be having to turn it constantly and tug and pull. And I really, really enjoyed doing color work on these, in the fact that all of my floats are just really, really wonderful. I mean, let me just share this with you guys. So let me pop it inside out. So like I said, I still have to weave in my ends, but all of my floats they work really nicely. Nothing is puckering. There never was a time where one float was too long. It just, man, the 9-inch circulars are perfect for that. So if I were to be doing a sleeve, if I were to be doing a sock, I think I would always use something like this. I haven't decided that if I'm going to just be doing a standard stockinette sock, if I would use 9-inch circulars. I think I will probably go ahead and try it out. But I think I'll be ordering another pair of the ChiaoGoo 9-inch circulars. I'm not even going to try the Haya Sharps, just because I enjoy these. I know that I like them. Are they the most comfortable thing in the beginning? Definitely not. Are they as comfortable as knitting on double pointed needles? Even at this point, after I've knit 2 socks, I would still say no, they're not. But they're okay, they're manageable. They don't really hurt my hands. I do find I'm a person who cracks my knuckles every now and again. And when I'm knitting with the 9-inch circulars, I crack my knuckles often. So it's really making my hands a bit stiff. That's kind of a random thing that I've noticed to point out there. But I definitely think buy another pair and try them out. So these are the Chiaogu red cord 9-inch circulars. I'm using a 2.5 millimeter needle, and I love the fabric that it gave me for these socks. And it's making me want to knit more and more colorwork socks because it's just been such a pleasure. So I'm looking forward to casting on the Heartdale socks, and then I'm really, really, really looking forward to casting on the socks that, oh my gosh, why can't I think of her podcast? The Danish podcaster, she's from Denmark, she does a video podcast. Leaga is her name, and she has the Fiber Tales podcast. I hope she's come out with that pattern. It's really, really simple. I'm sure I could even just knit that sock up with never having knit the pattern, but I love it. So I maybe will knit that one next. And I knitted on superwash yarn, which maybe I'll try and knit a pair of socks on non-superwash yarn and just kind of have them be house socks and not something that I'm wearing in my shoes. So this is our soft sock base. I don't remember if I said that. Oh, and one thing that I did do different on these socks is I knit a heel and gusset. I'll be using these for photographs, and I just think that a heel flap and gusset looks so much prettier. So that's why I decided to do that. I think that if you were to do the Fish Lips Kiss heel, I would carry these snowflakes all the way down. I could have done that, but I thought that starting here with the snowflakes would just be weird. Anyway, or I could have just started them a little bit above the trees. That would have been really pretty too. Things that you think about after you've designed something. Maybe I'll add it in as a possibility. So that's 3 pairs of socks right there. And as you can see on the table next to me, I've been having just the most fun time knitting on my Penguino, which is by Stephen West. It's a small version of the Penguono, which I've knit myself. I've really enjoyed doing it. And I want to put together Penguino or Penguono kits for all of you. So if you want to have me put one together for you, please send me an email. I might even set up a listing in the shop for 600 grams of yarn, 800 grams of yarn, 1,000 grams of yarn, so on and so forth, just where you give me a color scheme that you'd like, purples and pinks and blues, rainbow colors, just no yellow, something like that. And I would love to put together Penguino kits or Penguono kits, whichever you'd like. So this is for 8OD. And this is kind of some of the color palette that I have. I like to tie in the mohair with the Penguino. It adds a lot of extra warmth and it just makes it extra cozy. So this is our minty colorway. I've been storing these all in this circular basket made from the women of Ghana. And since we last saw each other, I dyed up a bunch of different mini skeins. So I dyed up a lot of purples and blues, as those are 8OD's favorite colors. I just felt like this was getting too pastel toned and pink. So here are some of the colors that I dyed up for 8OD. You can see it's a lot more jewel toned. So we have that palette. We have this really fun palette, really, really pretty. And then here's some more, whoops, pinks and golds, really pretty. And then here are some just cakes that I've caked up. I'm kind of having 8OD choose which colors she wants me to, well, I'm not kind of, she has been choosing which colorways she wants me to add to her Pinguino as I knit it. So first we had this big panel, which you would have seen last time. This will go down her back, and I'm knitting the 8 to 12 year old size. Elodie is only 8 years old. I don't know how this would fit a 12-year-old. I feel like you would have to use a larger needle than this, because this seems like it fits her pretty well, or you would have to aggressively block it. So this goes from her neck to the top of her bum. There will be a section that's added on here to make it longer, but this used almost exactly 80 grams of yarn just for this back panel. I used 2 skeins of fingering weight and the mohair, of course, which I'm carrying throughout the entire Pinguino. I'm going to use the same color throughout the entire Pinguino. And all of these are minis. None of these are colorways that I can reproduce other than Electric Feel. You can find that in the tonal section in our shop. This just adds a really fun pop. So, yep, I have this section, and each of the welts used pretty close to just about 10 grams of yarn as well. Just if you want to knit one yourself and maybe make some notes. And then this used about 12 grams of yarn, 12 grams of yarn for each of these side panels. And it's just been fun to lay out the Pinguino and have her choose colors that she wants to go with it. I've really enjoyed working on it. I'm curious to see which colors she would choose next. This is the only one that I personally wouldn't have put there. But you know what? It's hers. It doesn't matter if I would like it or not. I think she has to like it. So this one it's just so pretty. I can't wait. And I'm sure once it comes together, it will look beautiful. She's already chosen her colors that she wants next to the purple, so I'm going to marl these together because I think these are each 10 gram minis. I think this next section that goes up here will need 20 grams. So I've decided to marl the two together. So I'm going to start that after I finish this, recording this, and then have her choose what she wants to go next to the blue. So that will be fun. It's fun to add the little pieces, and it's such an enjoyable thing to work on that I was telling Elodie this morning as she was choosing her colors before she went off to school that this is probably going to be finished in a week because it's been so enjoyable. But let's be real. There are a lot of other things that I want to work on. Oh, I didn't realize that I brought this in here. Let me just share with you some of the colors that are in the shop right now. So we have Meadow. I think I only have a couple. I just photographed these the other day. This is Meadow. It's a really beautiful green. We have Tea Leaves. Really pretty. This is on Soft Sock. So was Meadow. And then I dyed up another fun mini set. So this is our Gemstones mini set, and it just has lots of really pretty purples, blues, and greens to it. This is a 10 gram mini set on our Soft Sock base, and there will be 2 new really fun mini sets. So one of them will be the blues and purples that I dyed for Elodie for her Pinguino, and that will be available on Stellina as well as I think Plump Merino. And then I'm using all Stellina for her Pinguino, just for fun little glitter. It's been I love working on this. I don't know how many times I can say that. So that will be in the shop, and then there will be a really fun different minis palette, well, just colors for me, and that will be our Abstract mini set. So all of those are limited. I don't have them to show you. They're hanging on the line. Amy will be winding those up tomorrow. So those will probably be heading into the shop. I can't believe it's Tuesday. That seems so weird. Those will be heading into the shop on Thursday, as well as a really fun mini set, Amy's Mixtape Minis, which has minis from things like Base Nectar, Deftones, Radiohead, Tool. Gosh, who's the fourth one? I don't remember. I can't remember who the fourth one is, but those are really pretty. She dyed all of those up on just our soft sock base. They're very limited, as are all of the things that Amy does for a Homespun house. She's been doing some really fun sock sets. Let me show you the one that she just did. It's not in the shop. It's already sold out, so I'm really, really sorry. But I want to share it with you because I think that she did such a pretty job. So this is Radiohead. It's called This Is What You Get, because that's a line from Karma Police. And then this is the mini called Karma Police. So it's really, really pretty. And she has a very different color palette, so it's fun to just have her come into the dye studio and dye things up for the shop. So she did that one, and then she did a Tool one. Was it last week or the week before? I'm not sure, but I'll probably have her come into the studio tomorrow and do a little sock set again, because it's so much fun. I really enjoy seeing what she dyes up, and I think that she enjoys it too. We kind of hang out in there and talk about colorway options together, and with this mini set we did a really fun mood board. So maybe we'll have a little video for our Patreons about that, because that was fun and interesting to do, and we listened to all the music from all the bands that she was dyeing the minis up to. And yeah, sounds like my girls are home from school. I better get going. I hope that you guys all have a really nice week ahead, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.